No good deed goes unpunished. The truth is rarely pure and never simple. A good friend will always stab you in the front. Women are meant to be loved, not to be understood. Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask, and he will tell you the truth. Experience is merely the name men gave to their mistakes. A thing is not necessarily true because a man dies for it. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. Nowadays, people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember from time to time that nothing that is worth knowing can be taught. I can resist anything except temptation. There is only one thing in the world worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about. I am too fond of reading books to care to write them. Behind every exquisite thing that existed, there was something tragic. Crying is for plain women. Pretty women go shopping. I have the simplest tastes. I am always satisfied with the best. Morality is simply the attitude we adopt towards people we personally dislike. I like men who have a future and women who have a past. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all. I don't want to go to heaven. None of my friends are there. I am so clever that sometimes I don't understand a single word of what I am saying. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. It is what you read when you don't have to that determines what you will be when you can't help it. You can never be overdressed or overeducated. Never love anyone who treats you like you're ordinary. Anyone who lives within their means suffers from a lack of imagination. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. I am not young enough to know everything. Hearts are made to be broken. The very essence of romance is uncertainty. I think God, in creating man, somewhat overestimated his ability. Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. To define is to limit. A cynic is a man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. All women become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does, and that is his. The only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. It is absurd to divide people into good and bad. People are either charming or tedious. Selfishness is not living as one wishes to live, it is asking others to live as one wishes to live. I have nothing to declare except my genius. We are each our own devil, and we make this world our hell. Anybody can sympathize with the sufferings of a friend, but it requires a very fine nature to sympathize with a friend's success. Whenever people agree with me, I always feel I must be wrong. The world is a stage, and the play is badly cast. We live in an age when unnecessary things are our only necessities. Some things are more precious because they don't last long. Only dull people are brilliant at breakfast. To get back my youth, I would do anything in the world except take exercise, get up early, or be respectable. Nothing can cure the soul but the senses, just as nothing can cure the senses but the soul. Everything in moderation, including moderation. The suspense is terrible. I hope it will last. The public have an insatiable curiosity to know everything, except what is worth knowing. Society often forgives the criminal, it never forgives the dreamer. An idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea at all. There is no sin except stupidity. Laughter is not at all a bad beginning for a friendship, and it is by far the best ending for one. Indeed, I have always been of the opinion that hard work is simply the refuge of people who have nothing to do. The nicest feeling in the world is to do a good deed anonymously and have somebody find out. I always pass on good advice. It is the only thing to do with it. It is never of any use to oneself. Women have a much better time than men in this world. There are far more things forbidden to them. The good ended happily, and the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means. Whenever a man does a thoroughly stupid thing, it is always from the noblest motives. It takes great deal of courage to see the world in all its tainted glory, and still to love it. The basis of optimism is sheer terror. There are many things that we would throw away if we were not afraid that others might pick them up. They've promised that dreams can come true, but forgot to mention that nightmares are dreams, too. Hear no evil, speak no evil, and you won't be invited to cocktail parties. I never put off till tomorrow what I can possibly do the day after. A little sincerity is a dangerous thing, and a great deal of it is absolutely fatal. The mystery of love is greater than the mystery of death. A man can be happy with any woman as long as he does not love her. One should always be in love. That's the reason one should never marry. He has no enemies, but is intensely disliked by his friends. I don't say we all ought to misbehave, but we ought to look as if we could. Men marry because they are tired. Women, because they are curious. Both are disappointed. I hope you have not been leading a double life, pretending to be wicked and being good all the time. That would be hypocrisy. I love acting. It is so much more real than life. I have no objection to anyone's sex life, as long as they don't practice it in the street and frighten the horses. One can always be kind to people about whom one cares nothing. Life is never fair, and perhaps it is a good thing for most of us that it is not. You like everyone, that is to say, you are indifferent to everyone. The aim of life is self-development. To realize one's nature perfectly, that is what each of us is here for. We women, as someone says, love with our ears, just as you men love with your eyes.